Hello, everybody, and welcome to OpenExO Live. I'm Kevin Allen, the Chief Community Officer at OpenExO, and this week we have Miguel Angel Sainz, or as many people know, Mike, on OpenExO Live, and you can see the folks that are going to be coming up in the next couple of weeks. We do have a small break in the timing there, if you didn't see, and that's because we will start what we're calling Season 3 of OpenExO Live. And if you are looking to join us, please do head over to the OpenExO platform in the marketplace and apply for the OpenExO Live opportunity. It is still open, and we're looking to share your story from the OpenExO community. And so before we get Mike onto the screen, there are a few messages from some community members that I would like to share. And the first one comes from Pedro, and he just says, Miguel's capacity to execute every strategy according to plan is admirable, especially when leading diverse teams dispersed across different continents. He does this with clear communication skills and a smile. This is what makes him a great leader. I'm proud to have him as a business partner and a friend. Next, we have from Gabriela. Miguel is someone who definitely surprises you. He combines many facets that make him special and valuable. He is committed, intelligent, and willing to help with a smile, respectful, and very kind. Simply put, Miguel is the team player that makes everyone shine. Next up, we have from Sebastian. Miguel is a keen problem solver who is not afraid to get his hands dirty and is always eager to solve any challenge that might arise, no matter how daunting or complex. An expert in business frameworks, he regularly creates order out of chaos, enabling ideas to turn into action. And lastly, we have from Karina. Mike is a great professional, very proactive and collaborative. He is a great student. He always goes one step further. He is very open to helping, and he was a very important link in the EXO Tierra event, where we worked more hand in hand. And now we don't want to let him go. So those were some comments from folks within the community. So, Mike, welcome to OpenExO Live. How are you doing today?
Thanks, Kevin. First, with a smile. Nice comment from all of them. I'm very happy to be here with you.
Awesome. So, Miguel, you find yourself in the middle of Mexico, and can you tell us a little bit about yourself? So, give a bit of a story about Miguel, about Mike, and then let us know how you actually came to join the OpenExO community.
Thanks, Kevin. Yes, as you said, my friends call me Mike. I'm a proud father of 3 young kids and a proud husband. I've been entrepreneur in 3 different industries: mining is most of the part I do, and then hospitality, and we have a small real estate business too. These all are family business. My father, my brother, my sister, and my mother are involved of them in the different areas, not all in all of them, but we are in a family business. So my first encounter with the EXO model, and people say that you grow by Kensho or Satori. Kensho is pain, and Satori is enlightenment, also an awakening. So when I read the book of Salim back in 2016, it was those moments of Satori, a few moments of that I have been in my life. So I read the book. I love the framework, the model. Didn't understand how to apply it, but start working on my personal MTP that is very influenced because as a business, as a family business, we were going through the corporate governance, and there were a lot of chaos in the company. So I suddenly sensed that I lost control of everything. So I got this mentor and sales consultant that told me that we were on the right track. We just need to understand how the next step will be. So my MTP was about that. It's helping people to understand what is the next step to do in order to control the chaos around them. So that's the way I started, and here we are.
Awesome. That's a great story to know that the book did impact folks, and of course, once you join the community, there's quite a strong Latin American community, a lot of Spanish speakers within the OpenExO community. I'm unfortunately not one of them, but once you join the community, how has that experience really been?
What happened is that I did understand that this new kind of model can impact our businesses. So my brother Mauricio was very also excited on this process. So I did this scaling up that also includes the EXO model, and I went to my graduation in an event back in 2019 when Salim, and it was an OpenExO scaling up event there. So there was Salim and there was the community on OpenExO. I met Edwin there. He may not recall that was the first day we met. And Mauricio, my brother, and I just did the EQ assessment, and then went to go to the community, the OpenExO. So we get online, we get the certifications, and we use our company as a sandbox to understand how to apply this concept and apply in this process. So on the community part, I think I mentioned that I have that have been enlightening, because at the end of the day, in the community, there are a lot of a lot of kind, excellent, great, intelligent people around it. I met there Pedro, which has been coach, and he invited me to his project Canuda. Now it's being transformed into an EXO builder with the collaboration with OpenExO. Then I also met Edwin. Edwin has been working, or he worked by the end of the last year and the beginning of the year with my company on an EXO sprint ideation, and also helping us to refine our MTP in the company. I also met Eric. Eric has been coaching a team that I'm working with, guys from different countries, and also coaching me. and I have been working with Karina Beppelsban, Jose Gaviria, Juan Carlos Alzate, Rodrigo Salazar, and I can keep mention a lot of people around doing the EXO Women, the EXO Tierra programs, and I'm very, very happy to be and be part of this community. That is awesome. Also looking, and sorry, that is also looking just to impact positively the world.
Yeah, absolutely, and so I mean, it's really amazing to see how when you look to add value, and you asking, and the community, what is it that we can do together, how that like blossoms into so many different initiatives from within your own organizations that you run, but also within others and other programs and projects, which is really so exciting. The one thing about the community is that you get to do things sort of around the world, right? Eric's in the US, and I know beforehand you were talking about how you working with someone in South Africa, and so that's the one thing that I must say I really do love. The one thing that I did notice that you did not mention, when you gave a bit of your background, is that you're actually a sommelier, right? So you're quite a wine guy, which is really interesting too. Maybe there's folks watching who are like, hey, I need someone who knows about wine. But if we are to look at the EXO model, what would you say? Like, how are you actually embracing it? Where are you using the attributes within the organizations that you're a part of and the projects that you're in?
Yeah, being a sommelier, we also own in the hospitality industry a restaurant. My sister Berenice is the chef, and he's run the business. And I think one of the best examples that we all know is that pandemic strikes here in Mexico. the both industry, principal industry we work with the mining and the hospitality, were not essential. So they were shut down for months, literally for months. So fortunately, because back in 2019, Mauricio, my brother, and I were working together on this, how to implement those attributes to the of the EXO model in our company. Then we identify some attributes like social technologies, like the dashboards, like the how to say, like some attributes that Mauricio and his team start working to implementing in the company. And when pandemic strikes, we had somehow in place most of these attributes. Like we create a platform for training for employees. So we start to do that. My sister implemented, like, let's go to the let's start selling online on home, like using the social. So we did implement those some of those attributes in the EXO model. Also, we did some of the scaling up and the Evely model that is evidence-based entrepreneurship and lean innovation, which is going to be part of this EXO builder in the future. So it's not only that it gave us or we survived the pandemic or the year of 2020, but also it was one of the best years financially of both companies. So
Wow.
yeah, and right now with the help that I mentioned, Edwin helped us to refine or mature or MTP, which is now transforming the mining to safeguard the planet. We have partnered with a customer that they have another MTP, which is transform nature in balance with the planet for the humanity benefit. So as you can see, both purposes aligned, and I'm implementing with them, or we did an extra sprint of ideation to identify core and edge initiatives that can impact the operational and maintenance process in order to both achieve or MTPs. Now, we are going to present that in the next 2 weeks. And following up, we're going to implement Evely, which is the evidence-based entrepreneurship and lean innovation methodology, in order to take those ideas with exponential attributes to be applied in those organizations. So that's very interesting how we have moved a little bit of our business towards more consulting, but also our products that we do.
Wow. I mean, so essentially, would you think that, should you have not read Exponential Organizations back in 2018 or whatever, and been at that event and looked at implementing EXO's attributes and that sort of more exponential thinking during the pandemic? I mean, obviously it would have been a very different experience for you, right?
Right. I think two things help us a lot. Well, the first one is that we were, as a company, moving towards corporate governance. We are now going to corporate governance, but also understanding how to apply those attributes and having, like a community that also help you to understand how to better align them. And I'm going to put another example that helped me a lot with the communities. I had this idea to transform one of our products to a digital a service to a digital product. So I went normal, like trying to do a budget. It was very costly, a lot of time to do that work, and I put it in a drawer for 5 years. When I did the sprints and learning about experimentation and the methodologies of that, I have my first MVP in 3 months without investment, anything. So we are moving forward. As a matter of fact, Pedro is helping me to doing that in another process. So it's about the community. It's, if I haven't understand, if we haven't been in the community, a lot of things could happen around us, and we couldn't maybe not survive, but not only not survive, but now I think we have a very better and brighter future. No,
absolutely. I mean, it's such an inspiring story that you're sharing, right? In that, the one thing that that you have in a community that is collaborative and looking to to see organizations transform, so that we actually can transform the world ultimately. You then have that opportunity to bounce things off people, and amazing things come out of that. Whereas if you follow that traditional approach of well, how much is this going to cost? Like you said, you go and stick that in a drawer because it seems unattainable. But when you're thinking differently, when you're thinking more, with an exponential mindset, suddenly things that were almost impossible before become a whole lot more possible, right? Which is so inspiring to hear.
And I think you mentioned the exponential mindset. I think that's what the book does, and that's what the EXO model does. It's not about implementing the attributes, it's about the mindset of the people. That changing your mindset to be an exponential, then it is easier to implement those attributes. So at the end of the day, it's about the people. No, organizations are made about people, and in this community, it's about exponential mentality.
Yeah, absolutely. And I actually was talking earlier today with someone, and just saying how actually it's what helps with that mindset is you end up with a language, right? There's a way you talk, and that then frames the way you see things, and it really makes such a difference. And now I know that of course you have all the organizations that are that are part of your family business, etc. But there are also some other projects that you're working on, and one of them, which you mentioned, of course, is the the canoe platform with the Eboli methodology that has joined with OpenExO to drive the EXO builder, to really drive the building of exponential organizations. Do you want to just share a little bit about how you actually got involved in that, and share a bit about that project for those people who are watching in?
Yeah, I get involved with this project with Canoe because I met Pedro during the pandemic. I start being more involved in the community because I used to travel a lot, and then I did not travel. So we were struggling as entrepreneurs. We were struggling. So I thought that there were other places that I can give my experience, my knowledge to help and support. And then I found this. Pedro was involved in this challenges, and then he created, I think he mentioned that in May when he was talking about the biggest venture building program.
Yes.
In 2019. I was there as a mentor. So it was Pedro and I start to working together. I was involved with him in the curating of the methodology book that is going to be launched in the next few weeks. So we start working together. Then I met another in the community, like Sebastian, Gabriela, Jose, the team that Pedro bring together in the beginning. Roberto is also with us, and what happened is that it's about purpose. The purpose of Canoe is helping 10 million entrepreneurs in 10 years, and my purpose was in the beginning clarifying the path of the people to create success. But then I realized that the best way to impact for me is like changing the world by helping create venture buildings. Like, it's like it was the same, but more broader my mindset. So I get involved with this project with Pedro. We participate in the EXO Prize, and we won the EXO Prize that gave us the opportunity to talk about deliver the project, and now we are very excited with this new join and the OpenExO taking the umbrella for Canoe, so we can work together, and it will be easy for us, I think, to impact those 10 million maybe in less than 10 years. And we're going to launch a book in the next weeks, which is the book of the methodology, evidence-based entrepreneurship and in innovation. We're going to send you an invite to you all. But also we we have these ambassador programs, and the idea for us to impact in is that we have also, or we have a community of instructors and Sherpas that go with the entrepreneur in this process of building ventures. And also one of the big projects we're going to have is like creating these local nodes that support locally all this infrastructure with investors, methodology, so we can go impact and keep building. But that's the plan we had before. There are a lot of new challenges now that I have been talking, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna do a great thing about this new venture we're building together.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We're so extremely excited about being able to, to have a division that is focused on building new organizations, new startups, and really being able to take the methodology, which of course includes EXO, to help initiatives to be more successful, right? And there's a lot of stuff that's going to be coming up in the coming weeks and months. I think the year is going to end like a bit crazy but amazing, and so excited. And so as we end off this call, what would you say is sort of like the last thoughts you'd like to share with folks, those that are watching and those that watch the recording?
I think what bring me to the community, it was about the purpose, the purpose of transforming the world for a better future. That is the purpose of OpenExO. And what I have learned in the past 18 to 24 months is that what brings people together in order to impact the world. So, and we have been talking about all the purpose in this conversation. I think if we can find our why, sometimes it's not easy. Sometimes it would change, or it will improve because it's improved because the people around you. But I think that is how do I say it? It's the thing that makes you friends, makes you companies. You can keep working for a better world, and you can create social capillarity, social impact, because at the end of the day, what we think, and that's the reason I'm very involved with this project, is because, and I think you mentioned in a conversation before that it's about the community. It's the responsibility of the community it's not waiting for governments, it's not waiting for the other people to do, but it's our responsibility to do what it needs to be done in order to create the abundance we want to have in this world. So purpose is about that.
Absolutely. So Miguel, it's been fantastic chatting to you today. Hopefully the next time I'm in Mexico, I can take a turn past you. You can share me some wine. But it's been fantastic chatting to you today, and you have a fantastic day.
Thanks so much, Kevin, and thank you so much to you all.
Thanks so much. Bye-bye. So that was Miguel. Awesome chatting to him. And as he said there right at the end, it is all about finding your why. It's all about purpose. The OpenExO community is extremely collaborative and driven around the idea that we can transform the world for a better future. So if that's something that you're interested in and you're not part of the community, it's really easy to head over to openexo.com and you can join the community. If you are running an organization and you want it to be transformed, you can also head over there, and our community are standing by to essentially help you in that process, as Miguel sort of explained for us today. So thanks so much. We'll see you all again next week.